What they do? This your boy TLEE. I'm back in the building, kicking the Bobo TV, live. I'm talking about we live and clear, all in your ear. Man, they tried to get at Trump. I'm talking about them boys came and tried to do Trump in. I don't know what Trump got going on, but it look like, boy, they at his throat. Now, I know plenty of y'all saying, man, that looked like that was staged. And that's what I thought at first, you know what I'm saying? When I looked at the whole video, I'm like, man, that don't seem right. It seemed like it's staged. But then as more reports start coming in and as more people starting to claim that they seen the shooter and they was at the rally and I'm seeing videos, I really believe that that was not staged. I believe that Trump was getting hit at, if you ask me. Now, when the reports come out, they say it was a little young guy, he was 20 years old or whatever, and he's a Republican and all that. But to most of Trump supporters, they believe that the Democrats and Biden had something to do with this. I'm just going to keep it blood raw. They believe that Biden and the Democrats had something to do with this because Biden is down in the polls. And, we done seen the debate. He almost looked senile a little bit, you know what I mean? He calling President Zelensky Putin and calling Trump the vice president. I mean, he doing a lot of little, strange things. So he was down in the polls real bad. I'm talking about, it was like a landslide win for Trump. So a lot of the Republicans and Trump supporters believe this is the only way Biden can win if he pull off a stunt like this here. Like I say, I'm just reporting it, man. I ain't on either side because I believe, none of the candidates really amuse me, when we talking in terms of policies and everything. With Biden, I don't even understand what he be saying half of the time. And then, with Trump, we know Trump, he basically, if you want to say so, he almost like a dictator. He going to do it his way and how he want to do it. So when it come down to the presidency election 2024, I'm kind of really neutral. In fact, I believe, if you ask me, we need, as blacks, we need to change our approach on how we vote or how we attack the political process. The reason why I'm saying, because it's been over, 50 years plus that we have been voting. And don't get me wrong, I understand, laws have been changed and able to live how we live today based on voting and getting people in place, going to the polls. But to me, I still believe that the change is slow. It's in increments. I believe if we go ahead and change our approach to the political process and get more smart and more wiser about politics, I believe we should be able to get what we want out of the candidate we endorse. Because if you ask me, and I'm going to get back to the Trump situation, but if you ask me, black people, I believe that we need to really take our position in America really serious. And what I mean is we can't just go to the polls and just cast a vote, because a vote is free. And we've been voting, since Martin Luther King, I Have a Dream speech. And what I'm trying to tell you is, I'm not saying nothing is wrong with that process, but over time, we've seen that the elections can be rigged. They lose ballots. In case of Florida, you remember in Florida incident when they lost a whole bunch of ballots or whatever. So, we didn't understand that process. So what I'm saying is the process of voting seems like it's tainted. I'm saying we need to revamp our thought on how we go into politics. I mean, for instance, when I was in the federal prison down here in Miami at the camp, I bumped up into this Jewish guy. And this is the time when Hillary Clinton and Trump was battling for the presidency. And the Jewish guy, he used to walk the track with me all the time, you know what I'm saying? And we just talk over things. And I just be wondering, you know, a lot of times I talk with guys just to see their point of view. So it was interesting talking to the guy because he had a different point of view on politics. So at this time, you know, Hillary Clinton was doing her thing. She was winning the polls at the time. And you know, I was kind of heckling him because he was a Trump supporter. And a lot of them Jews, they support Trump. Trust me. So when I'm talking to the guy, I'm telling him, man, I don't see how you think Trump can win this thing, man. Hillary Clinton looked like she the best candidate, you know, based on how it was going at that time. He said, mark my word, young man. He said Hillary Clinton will not win this presidency. He said, I talked to some of my guys up there in New York, some of my Jewish leaders in New York, and we heavily endorse Trump. And I was saying to myself, okay, well, you know, okay, I didn't understand the process, how I worked in. So as I went to quizzing him and walking the track with him, I was asking him, I was saying, hey, what can you explain to me how you or how the Jews or in your community attack the politics realm? You know what I'm saying? And he was like, man, let me tell you something. He said, yeah, us Jews, we vote, but when we that's just extra on top of what we doing. He said, we don't rely on just voting. Voting is free, like he told me. He said, man, anything that's free is not going, you know, is not going to turn out good for you because you got it free. He said, what us Jews do, we pool our money together. We come together as a big family when it's voting time. And we pool our money together and we decide which candidate we want to endorse. And once we decide the candidate we want to endorse, we pour our resources into his campaign. But not just pouring our resources into his campaign, we're getting something in return for doing that. And that's what I kind of think us black folks, we need to start getting to. Yeah, I know you don't, it's hard for us to really come together and agree on one thing, but it's time that we unify this thing because there's only strength in numbers. I understand, you know, we beefing with different, you know, family members, beefing with different friends, beefing with, you know, enemies. But a lot of it stems from poverty. With poverty, it creates a hostile environment because everybody, you know, they hungry, you know, the money ain't coming in, bills due. So you wake up frustrated. But I'm saying now, today, man, we got a lot of black people in place, a lot of black folks in place where we can come together as one and pool our money together and endorse a candidate that's talking our language. And that's the only way you're going to get something from these politicians. Politicians work off money. The free vote, I mean, it can help, but we can see that even when you vote and you vote for, you know, Obama, whatever, you know, Biden, however you vote, and you get the person elected based on, you know, your votes and others, once they get in office, they still not returning the favor. You know why? Because it's free. When we start pooling our money together and endorsing the candidate and he accepts that money, he's accepting that money on the terms of he's going to do something specifically for you because you specifically gave him or funded his campaign. This is the new politics. I know when Martin Luther King was marching for freedom, I know he was telling all black folks to vote. And that was in 1968 and in the 60s, that was a way that black people can get their voice heard. But now we in 2024. Our voice is known, our voice is not all the way heard, but the voting situation is now becoming stale, in effect. Because one thing about the white man, and I don't give him that much credit, but I'm going to give him this credit. He thinks 100 years in advance. So with that being said, over the course of these years, since Martin Luther King was screaming, vote, 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 over the course of the years, they know how to manipulate the black vote. Always around voting time, they're going to get on, black local stations, go to black churches, go to black schools, and pander to the black vote. And yes, your vote does count. I'm not saying it don't count. It don't matter. It does matter. But what I'm saying is, it only matters to get that person catapulted into office. Once he's in office, he's not indebted to you anymore. But what I'm trying to tell you, if we pool our money and endorse a candidate, then he will be indebted. And that's how other ethnic groups move when we talking in terms of politics. And I know my black folks, I know, we've been left out of politics for a while, and a lot of us is not politics savvy. I'm trying to kick the bobo to you blood raw, and I'm trying to give it to you blood raw, man. The vote is free. It has an impact, but it is free. Once they get in office, they don't owe you anything because you just utilize your right to vote. That's it. Now, if you were to endorse a candidate and he takes that money and accept that money, now he is liable. He's liable because now he owes you something in return for accepting that money. And that's what the Jewish guy was saying. He said, man, we vote, but what we do, we pool our money together and we select the candidate we're going to endorse. And that's how you get things done. And I was at the time when he was telling me that, I was kind of a baby in politics and he was schooling me. But I was still saying it looks like Hillary Clinton going to win the race. He was like, I guarantee you. He said, I will make a bet that Hillary Clinton will not win. So I'm like, oh man, this man crazy. Da, 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 da. And sure and behold, he told me, he said, man, I'm making a call to my guys in New York. They're assuring me that Hillary Clinton would not win. And that's what happened. Hillary Clinton didn't win. Trump ended up winning because Trump had powerful supporters. Now, let's get back to the incident where it was a failed attempt on Trump's life. Now, I'm telling y'all better beware, man. This still the beginning stages of something. And what I know is a civil war is brewing. I don't know where it's going to come from. At first, I thought the Civil War was going to be the uprising of blacks fighting against the powers that be. But now as everything's starting to mature, it could be a civil war between the Democrats and the Republicans based on Trump and Biden. Because this is an unorthodox election. We have the Democrat side really not happy with their candidate. And again, I'm neutral. My voting rights has not been restored. I'm still working on that. But I am neutral. I'm on the outside looking in. So with that being said, I'm just looking at both parties. From the Democrat side, I'm seeing that they're not really satisfied with Biden. And it's understandable. I get it because Biden doesn't seem like he's aware of what's going on, overseas, abroad, or even domestically. If you ask me, I would not be comfortable with Biden negotiating any deals abroad or even deals domestically unless he had an interpreter that can understand, the negotiations. So some of the Democrats, I get it, that you're not really satisfied even with the term, the last 4 years of Biden, because right now, things are looking rough, gas prices fluctuating, grocery bills high, money is not circulating like it once was, and some attributed to Biden and some of his policies. So I get why, it's not a strong vote for Biden. Now, when we go to the other side of Trump, Trump is more like a dictator. Trump is more appealing to America now because, for one, we see that if you step back, I'm just talking politics, if you step back and look at it, it seems like the Democrats understand that Biden is not capable, but they don't want to admit it. So what they do is, and this is what political analysts are saying, they went after Trump, and that's how he accumulated those felonies with the hush money trial. It was escalated because it's Trump. It's a minor offense, hush money trial. Okay, he paid somebody, to do something. I don't know. Then you want to go to Epstein Island, but I black folks, please do not bring up Epstein Island, because it's a lot of our greats that got caught on Epstein Island. Trust me, if you go dig back into Epstein Island, it just wasn't the white elites. It was some of the black elites too. I'm not going to name some names. I'm going to let you do your own research. But please don't bring up Epstein Island, because that's going to open up a whole can of worms. A lot of our, entertainers and elites indulged in Epstein Island. So we don't want to go there. Please not, it's already in the public eye, but we don't want to stop, pointing the finger, because trust me, if you go back and look at some of the documents who all been in and out that island, if you just strictly pay attention to our black entertainers and elites, you don't want to see who's on that list. So we're going to keep it to where, Trump is a dictator. I agree with about that, because I've been studying Trump myself. And one thing about Trump, man, he don't play. You know what I'm saying? From all my studies, he do not play. He with the get back game. He on that get back. Trump is on that. But what I'm trying to say is, Trump is more of a person that, to America, feels like if we was to go into foreign countries, he would be more respected than Biden, only because Trump seems more sane and more stern on his beliefs. Now, again, I'm neutral. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm just a neutral. I'm just talking, from the stadiums up there in the top rafters, looking at the game. And when you look at the politics game, a lot of people are starting to support Trump. So with this failed assassin attempt, that's going to have a lot of elites. I'm talking about white elites, even some of the black elites, questioning Biden's regime. Because from me, just a layman, and looking at the politics realm, I'm not into politics. I don't, I'm into it as far as a student of it, but I'm not, I'm not running for office or nothing like that. I'm not a public figure. I'm just on TLEE, kicking the bobo with y'all. That's it. But as a student, I'm trying to tell you that, Biden regime, some of the tactics that they're doing to stop Trump from running is really opening up the eyes of some of the people that's into politics. Because again, we know that And I can kind of say that Biden has weaponized the judicial system to just stack up some charges against Trump. So Trump, it will be difficult for him to run against Biden. Come on, it's the writing in the wall, man. You know, we ain't got to keep going over it. We know that, you know, that's a political tactic. But now, it seems like, I'm just saying, if you were to look at it, step back and don't look at it as a Democrat because, you know, your feelings get involved, and don't look at it as a Republican because your feelings get involved, and we're looking at it from a different perspective. I'm just saying, look at it just from American. What I'm trying to tell you is, first, it was the charges. Now, it seems like somebody do not want Trump to win this election. Now, I don't know, you know, Trump, like I told you, he's a spiteful guy. He on the get back, you know what I'm saying? That get back of mud, you know what I'm saying, messing with Trump. So I don't know if he get in office, is he going to pursue Biden and Hunter Biden and all the stuff that's coming out with the Biden family. And I don't know if Biden want that to come out, because one thing about it, if Trump get in office, the Biden family is in trouble. They are in trouble. They are in trouble. But now, it done got a little deeper to me. What I'm saying is now, it done went to the charges being stacked against Trump. Now it's going to an attempt at assassination. But what I'm saying to you guys is, this could be a possible event that can spark a civil war. Because now, on the Republican side, they are very, very highly upset with the Biden regime, with the Secret Service. They believe that they left Trump out to dry. So with that mindset, they already in attack mode. I'm talking about the Republicans. If you want to say the KKK, whoever support Trump, they in attack mode right now. And they down for whatever. So what I'm saying, Democrats, I'm just talking to y'all because I know a lot of my black folks, Democrats. When we heckling Trump, be careful. I'm talking about even if when you go to the job and you're talking about it, make sure you know who you're talking to. Because a lot of these people posing as Democrats or posing as independents, you know, they be on Trump's side. So when you're talking, you better make sure you know who you're talking to. I would advise you, it's two things you don't discuss around a lot of people. That's religion and politics. So if y'all gonna have a debate at work, at the job, or, you know, at the school or wherever you at, make sure you understand the people that's around you. Because this is very much a sensitive topic to a lot of Trump supporters. Because they believe that Biden is behind the whole ordeal. Even though we may say it's staged, a lot of people may say, oh, the guy was a Republican. In their eyes, they're not listening to none of that. They listening to Biden that has already used the judicial system to attack Trump. That's how they looking at it. And you can't tell them no different. And now they saying, to win this election, Biden has went to try to assassinate him. This is what they saying. On the Democrat side, we more, okay, that was good for Trump, and she shouldn't have missed, and things of that nature. And it's more like a joke to us. But to them, they dead serious. So what I'm telling my black folks is, don't lose track of what's going on in the society. Because you can find yourself in a situation where you're being attacked based on your belief. And I'm talking to Democrats right now. You can find yourself where you are being attacked based on your belief in politics. Because this Trump event is not going to go away lightly. Even if Trump say, hey guys, Stand down. It's all good. Those people are not trying to hear that. You see how they stormed the Capitol and did what they did. Now imagine, and that was just on some GP, you know what I'm saying, just cuz. Now they got a reason to get off. So what I'm just telling you guys, Democrats, I'm basically speaking to you, and I'm also talking to Republicans. There's no need to fight violence with violence. I'm telling you, Republicans, there's no need for that. Let's let the judicial system handle that. Let's go to the polls. Let's go, go get your vote in and keep it right there. Don't keep it into the gangster, because it's going to turn into a civil war. Because what I'm noticing about some of the Democrats as well, they not backing off their stance either. They not backing off. For real, they like, man, that's good for Trump. The nigga should have hit Trump in the head, whoever did it. They mad at the shooter, saying he don't know what he was doing. They ordered him from Amazon and all this here. You know what I'm saying? They going in. But I'm just telling you right now, to all my black folks, man, we're in some crucial times right now, and it's not street stuff. This ain't even about the streets no more. This with the white elites and the politics game, and these organizations that's funded by different people, around the world, and so they got the money to fight. They got the artillery to fight. So we better be careful on how we talk to people about politics right now in today's time. Because I've even heard some people on the Democratic side say if Trump win, they gonna cut a fool. And then the Republicans right now, if Trump when he get back on that podium, and if Trump incite or infer that the Democrats had something to do with this, it's going to be all-out war on the Democrats, and it's going to be all-out war on the Republicans. I'm telling you this, man. I'm seeing it. I'm prophesizing it. I'm telling you, I'm trying to stop it. I don't want it to amass. I'm telling you, be careful, be selective on who you talk politics with in today's time. I'm telling you, because you can find yourself in a harsh encounter with some Trump supporters. They on the prowl now because they feel like, and a lot of the blacks, even the black entertainers, have converged over to Trump's side because they feel like Trump is being harassed by the system, like us young black folks have been harassed by the system, over time. One of the reasons why I don't mess with Biden, because of the crime bill. And I was one of the ones that fell up under the crime bill. So when he called predators, he was basically talking to me at that time, because I was a young black guy trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. But at the same time, I don't know what the future had for me, but I was just roaming around. So in actuality, when him and Hillary Clinton spearheaded the bill, the crime bill, and he was basically talking to me about me, labeled me a predator. So from that, America took that and looked at us different, coming up, what I'm saying? The police looked at us different. We was getting stopped by the police, being harassed and all that, because we was looked at as less than, as super predators or as predators. So with that being said, I don't mess with Biden at all. I don't mess with him at all. Now Trump, they say Trump racist, and I done seen pictures of him with Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton and all the black celebrities and entertainers. And I know when I was coming up, Trump was always the money man. We all knew Trump as being, these multi-millionaire that had a lot of hotel spaces around the country. So that's my take with Trump coming up. I always knew Trump as being the money guy. Always kept the millions in the hotels and the casinos and stuff like that. So I didn't know him as being a racist coming up. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that until he started getting into politics. Even when he was on The Apprentice and all that stuff, I didn't know that he was a racist until we started getting into politics. And then they started pointing out little cases and stuff like that. So I didn't know none of that. But again, Biden directly spoke to me when he came out with the crime bill. Because like I say, even though, you know, my crimes came a little later, the net of that whole bill, I got caught up in. But that's either here or there. You know, that's something I'm battling with. That ain't got nothing to do with y'all. I'm just saying, be careful. Because with this Trump failed assassination, you're going to have some lone wolves out there that want some get back. And you know, some of these Trump supporters, you know, they'll die for this country. They'll commit suicide to be a martyr for this country. So if you're not willing to go there, you better be careful how you speak politics with certain people. For real, for real. Now, again, I'm just speaking to my black people because I love my peoples, man. I want us to get up out this, you know, years and years of poverty, man. I want us to, but a lot of times we can't do it because our minds, we think in poverty. We got to get our minds out of poverty to get out of poverty. You know what I mean? A lot of times we celebrate poverty because when we talking about the streets and I'm from the streets or I'm from the projects and all that, I get it, bro. You know what I'm saying? That makes you tough. You know what I'm saying? Because you growed up in some tough times and tough, you know, your exterior is tough because you came from if you came from them projects, I'm talking about any project around the world. If you came from them projects, I understand because, you know, those were hard living. That was a hard living, hard upbringing. You was exposed to death. You was exposed to drugs. You was exposed to violence. So I get it. But sometimes as black people, we celebrate that and we don't want, and that's what we thrive to be. The project chick or, you know, at the project or the street dude, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not down to any street dude. I'm not down to nobody because I was once there. But what I'm trying to tell you is it's in your mind, brother. You got to get up out of that mind frame. Young brother. You know, the old heads, like I said, I can't talk to y'all. Y'all stubborn, but I'm trying to talk to the young cats. You can't glorify the streets and then try to get up out the streets. Most of us can. You know, you got some of the rappers that got out. Some of the athletes got out. You know what I'm saying? But the majority of us didn't get out. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm trying to tell you is a lot of times we didn't get out because we glorify this particular neighborhood. We glorify, we got an allegiance to this particular project. We got, you know, I came from here, so I'm not going to leave here. And I'm trying to tell you, man, the streets don't owe you nothing, brother. The streets don't owe you nothing. I'm just talking young brother. I'm talking to you and trying to get you to understand the streets do not owe you anything. So why you have so much of allegiance? Because if we even go back to the Scott projects, they knocked down the whole Scott project. They knocking down the poking beans and everything. So the streets, that lets you know they wasn't loyal to you. All my dudes at the Scotts, all my dudes at the Beans, all my dudes, they done knocked down the sub. Bruh, it ain't no more hood. So guess what? We can't be extra loyal to something that ain't loyal to us. That's just a jewel I'm dropping, man. I'm not telling you how to live. I'm just trying to make you understand that it's something bigger, man. And in order for us black people to get out of poverty, we got to stop glorifying poverty. Because that's what we doing when we saying, I'm from this project, I'm from the street, boy, I'm from this here, I'm from that there. Yeah, like I do it too. I'm from the Grove, you know what I'm saying? I'm from Miami, period. I'm from all over, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm trying to reframe my mind from that because I know it ain't no loyalty there. It's not no loyalty where I'm from. It's not no loyalty. And I'm not so much pointing at the people. I'm just talking about the neighborhood. You can be stripped from this neighborhood at any time. So you hardcore, I'm from this hood, and then they move your projects, and then they move you down somewhere down south, or you move you up there and up, I don't know where they move you, wherever you go to. The only thing you can say is, I'm from that place, but that place no more exists. So what I'm saying is no loyalty, bro. You wanna glorify something that has loyalty to you. There's no loyalty in the streets. There's no loyalty in the projects. There's no loyalty. Yeah, when we there, we love each other. But when we not around, we don't care. We gonna hate on you. We don't care. You ain't doing nothing for us. That's what just saying. Man, I don't care nothing about that old nigga there. He ain't doing nothing for the hood and all that there. But when you was there grinding and struggling and all that there, boys, much love, bro. Boy, from the cradle to the grave, boy, now nigga better not play about my woody and all this here. But soon as a nigga get their mind straight up and say, you know what, man, I'm tired of all this here, man. I'm tired of fighting and fussing with my brothers and sisters, man. You know what I'm saying, over nothing. I want something better, man. I want to see something better. There's a whole bigger life out there. First thing a nigga on the street gonna say is, oh, that nigga done switched out. He think he better than us and all that there and all this here. But nah, nigga don't think they better, but a nigga just trying to, live. A nigga trying to live and see life, man. That's all you got to do, see life, man. It's a whole life out here. It's a whole world out here, man. And y'all get confounded to one corner, one project, one street corner, man. And it kind of hurt me, man, because, you know what I'm saying? I know, and if we ever was to unify this thing, because I've been in prison, 10 years in prison. So I knew how unity works, because when you're in prison, it's all about unity. Federal prison, it's all about unity. It's strength in numbers. So when you outnumbered in that prison system, you almost a peon, because you outnumbered. I mean, you gonna fight to battle or whatever. You gonna be strong, but you outnumbered, bro. You know what I'm saying? So you destined to lose. And that's what's going on right now with us as a whole, as a people. We are outnumbered because we think. Everybody else, we don't think the same. I work around a lot of Latinos in the industry I'm in. I work around a lot of Latinos. And what I notice about the Latinos, they stick together. Yeah, they fuss with each other, but one thing about it, a young black dude like me, they not going to choose me over them. They're not going to do that. I done been in plenty of situations with them. When it come down to me and them, they're going to choose their Latino brother or sister. And they'll rather just not deal with me and let me go off the job or do whatever, because, they'll look at me as a problem. Because it's just me. But if I had a group of people with me and we had the same amount, now they can't just get rid of. I'm talking about in terms of jobs. Now, when we on the job, and a lot of times, like I say, in this industry I'm in the transportation industry. So in the industry I'm in, it's a lot of Latinos. So, and a lot of them in power. So when you go against them, they gonna come together in strength and numbers, and they'll get you out of there. It done happened to me plenty of times. So I'm not just talking. But I'm talking to you and telling us black people, we gotta have strength in numbers if you want to see change. Now, we can keep running to the polls, we can keep voting, we can keep getting the same results, we can even elect the black man like we did, and even with Obama, you know what I'm saying, we elected him in, but he never really did nothing specifically for black folks. And sometimes we think we putting the right person in place, but because we have not poured no money or resources into that campaign, oftentimes we get overlooked because we are dependent on the free vote, that we can just go down there and vote for free. And I'm trying to tell you, politicians in this game today understand the black vote. They understand it. They know how to get us out. They know how to pander to us. They know what to say. They know how to say, oh, Project 25 or any other thing. They just know how to get you in a mode where you ready to vote somebody out. And so now you voting in retaliation to something. So when you go to the polls, you not voting because you want to, like you say, end mass incarceration or something like that, or you want to end, police brutality, or you want to end whatever. You're not going to be considered for real, because you placed a free vote. While you have other ethnic groups fighting against what we want, they fighting against what we want. So if we say we want this, they say, nah, we want that. Don't give it to them. But they going to pay money. While you run to the polls and you going to put your free vote in, and yeah, you might vote for a Democrat, and he might win. But when it comes down to it, he going to cater to the people that paid the money. So if you vote your free vote to a Democratic Party or whatever, or a Republican, I don't care. If you vote your free vote to them, it's going to be another ethnic group with money that's trying to endorse the campaign that they're going to cater to. Trust me, I'm telling you, this is how it works in politics. The vote is free, so they know, okay, we're going to let our people vote. We're going to let them vote. But in actuality, behind the scenes, we only catering to the ones that's spending money. And the black folks don't like to spend money. They want something for free. And I'm not saying you want something for free. I'm not talking to you specifically. I'm just saying us, when it come down to us, if you was to talk to any us and you try to rally 20 people and you say, man, you got to put in a certain amount of money so we can do this and make this happen. 15 of them going to be like, I got to pay that kind of money. When we don't even know that this is going to work. I ain't putting no money in. I'm going to go down here and vote for free. See, our mind frame, man, we still in poverty. We still in poverty. We think in poverty because we want everything for free. When you pay for something, you get results. When you get it for free, you get what they give you because it's free. So I'm just talking to my black people, man, because it really bothered me when I seen the attempt on Trump's life. You know what I'm saying? It kind of bothered me because now I see that we getting into a country where violence is starting to occur, about a vote. And if you go back into biblical times, they had spoke about, at some point it's going to be violence based on your belief. And you're going to have to defend yourself in violence based on what you believe in. I'm telling you, I'm not just talking. I read up on it. Researched it. It's going to be a point in time. I don't know if it's now. I'm just hoping it's not now. Where you're going to be challenged based on your belief. And you're going to have to either live or die based on that. I'm not trying to scare you up. I'm just trying to prep you up. Again. Another topic I want to talk about is this LeBron James and MJ's topic. Now, I come from both eras. I was there when MJ was at the Bulls. The Bulls was my favorite team at that time. The Miami Heat wasn't even established when at the time, the Bulls was my team, you know what I'm saying? So I was rocking with the Bulls. I liked the Michael Jordan. I was a Jordan fan. So I'm not talking to you, just totally biased. I was a Jordan fan because Jordan at that time when I was coming up, he was God. They had to be like Mike, the brainwashing of the commercials. The Jordans, like I told you on one video, the Jordans, if you had a pair of Jordans back in those times, you was the man. So Jordan has always been, one of my favorite guys on the basketball court for real. But, I'm an innovator. I like to innovate. I like to look for the next best thing. You know what I'm saying? And I thought, coming along the way I thought Kobe, would be one of the next best things, you know what I'm saying, is, to compare with Jordan. Because I wasn't, I played point guard, coming up. So I wasn't really looking at centers and some power forwards and stuff like that. I was just, from the guard perspective and the small forward perspective, I was trying to see who was going to be the next best thing. And right there, Jordan was one of the best. He was the GOAT. He was the GOAT guard. No player had, amassed to me what Jordan had did for the game of basketball. But anybody that know me knew when Jordan retired or whatever, we was all looking for another savior of basketball. We was all looking for another Michael Jordan. We thought AI, Kobe. I mean, we can go back to the list goes on of some of the players we wanted to anoint as the next Michael Jordan. And again, we always looked at Michael Jordan being the GOAT. So if you great like him, you just great like him. You even. You will probably be the next Michael Jordan, but never better than Jordan. So I'm coming to you and I'm telling all y'all Jordan fans, man, I've been a Jordan fan. I was a Jordan fan. I love Jordan. Again, I love the Bulls team, but see, Jordan wasn't never my favorite player on the Bulls team because I played point guard. My favorite player was B.J. Armstrong. You know what I'm saying? So, but I used to get up every Sunday, watch the games from 12:30 on down, you know what I'm saying, and watch all the basketball games with Jordan, especially the Bulls. So I watched every Jordan game. Now, again, when I approach the game of basketball, I'm always looking for the next best thing. I'm always looking for who's going to either come close to Jordan or surpass Jordan. So I came across a kid out of Akron named LeBron James. Now, I studied LeBron James when he was in high school. I watched a lot of his game tapes. I even watched some of his games, you know what I'm saying, in high school. Because he was one of the biggest players and they had some of the games broadcasted on TV. So what I used to do, I used to run to some of the guys, in the hood and be like, boy, it's a kid named LeBron James in high school. I say, boy, if this boy projected it, he going to be another Michael Jordan or even better. At that time, that was like taboo. You could never speak on a player being on the same level as Jordan. That was like, what? You crazy, man. Ain't nobody in the league never ever did nothing like Jordan. Jordan ain't gonna never be another Jordan. That's what they was telling me at the time. And LeBron was still in high school. I say, bro, go back and look at this kid, man. He in high school, bro. I'm telling you, this kid got it all. He could become the next Jordan if he don't get hurt, man. Them dudes laugh me out the building. Oh, this dude, because like I said, I'm a futuristic dude. I always try to look ahead. So you're like, this dude, and to see them dudes, a lot of these dudes, you know what I'm saying, when you talking to them, they only stuck in that time, you know what I'm saying? So when I was talking to them, they were stuck in that era. They were stuck like, man, never gonna be another Jordan. That's blasphemy. So I was like, all right, man, y'all pay attention to the kid, pay attention to the kid. And then he got drafted in Cleveland. So when he got drafted in Cleveland, by Cleveland never winning anything, I always thought that, he was going to be good, but I never thought that he would win a championship in Cleveland because I was like, man, Cleveland ain't never won nothing, so, it's going to be hard for him to win a championship there. But I do know he going to be great on the floor, and he going to amass good numbers. So as time progressed, but even then, when I was talking about LeBron, he went to Cleveland, what happened was dudes, because Wade had ended up going to Miami, falling to Miami. And I watched Wade, too, when he was at Marquette doing his thing, you know what I'm saying, in the tournament and all that stuff there, too. So Wade had ended up falling to Miami Heat. And I was, I'm a Heat fan. I had to left the Bulls. Bulls broke their team up. And then, once they broke their team up and all that stuff there, I was left on the island. So, I said, man, I might as well just come on home. Because I was already going to the Heat games anyway, So I was just like, I might as well come on home and go to the Heat. That's when they had Ronnie Cycling. They had all kind of little teams. I was going to their games and all that stuff. But I was like, I might as well come on home to the Heat. So when I got to the Heat, all the fellas, all us, that like the different teams. That back then, when the Heat started putting their team, especially when they got Pat Riley, we all started, coming back home to the Heat because the Heat started playing good and they didn't look like no expansion team no more. You know what I'm saying? Because at the time, when I liked the Bulls, they was an expansion team, and they kind of looked at, like an expansion team. You know how that go. You need 3 or 4 years before you can look like competitors. But the Heat came and got Pat Riley, and then we started competing. So, a lot of the guys left wherever they liked it and came home to the Heat, and I was one of them. So when Dwayne Wade got drafted, a lot of them guys, I was hanging with, they was like, yeah, I like him, man, but I don't know. I say, man, Wade a beast now. I say Wade a beast. I say, but he not the best player in the draft, but he's a beast. That's a good pick for the Heat. But LeBron James is the best player in this draft. You know what I'm saying? And dudes, I say, this dude is another Michael Jordan. Or he probably gonna be better if he play his career out. Now, did I think he was gonna switch teams and all that? I ain't think none of that. I just thought he was gonna do everything at Cleveland because that's how things went. And he even changed the league with that. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm talking to the guys, they all, at the time, you could never foresee that because Jordan was on the top and there was no player ever close to him. And even when you talk about Kobe, he was almost like a mimic of Jordan. So it was like, man, Kobe ain't nothing but another Jordan, if anything. So when LeBron got in the lead and he started ripping up the lead, he took Cleveland to the finals and all that, I started telling the guys, see, this kid for real now. And they looking at me like, oh, yeah, whatever. But I'm saying this to say, man, with the body of work this kid put in from high school all the way to the pros, with that body of work he got, man, and he was projected to be the #1 player of his class, and my projection for him was like Jordan, like he exceeded my expectations. He exceeded the prognosticators' expectations. He exceeded, I believe, his own expectations. Because not only I'm saying right now he's the GOAT, man. I know it's a lot of arguments about Jordan, and I think those arguments are valid. But I think a lot of times with us older cats, man, and I'm around that age too, man. I think a lot of times with us, man, we don't want to let go our era. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to give it to the young boys. You know what I'm saying? We always gonna make sure our era was either rougher, tougher, or you know what I'm saying, or like the young people couldn't grow up how we grew up, which some of that is true. I agree with a lot of that. But sometimes God just plant a talent in front of you, man, that you just you can't deny. And I think that's what LeBron James has been since I laid eyes on him. He's been a talent you just can't deny. And when he came to the Heat, man, that was like a dream come true for me because LeBron had emerged as my favorite player, after those couple of years in Cleveland. So when he came to Miami, I even caught him when he was at Cleveland when they played Miami. And he dunked on, Damian Jones. I was at the game. So, I was all hyped up, even though I had on my Heat jersey. But when he came to the Heat, that was like a dream come true for me because not only did he come to the Heat, and pair it up with the big three, but it was like to highlight because a lot of those dudes, even though he was doing his thing, a lot of dudes out of Miami really wasn't paying attention. It was like, all right, LeBron over there in Cleveland, he doing his thing. But when he came to Miami, because we pay attention to the Heat players, that's when the spotlight came down on him in Miami. So what I was wondering was, can he handle that Miami crowd? Because one thing about us, man, we're a tough crowd, boy. We're a tough crowd, and a lot of these players can't handle being in Miami and the criticism. So I was wondering, can that arise? And like his first year, he did his thing, and they lost in the championship, man. Like I say, and I did say that he should have been able to dominate JJ Burrell, but when I go back into it, I realized him and Dwayne Wade didn't have some type of agreement at that time. So he was always trying to make sure Dwayne Wade get his. And even when I was watching the game, I'm like, man, take that shit to the rim, man. Wade to get his on the back end. But he one of them old friendly dudes where he want to make sure his guy's straight. And I get that, you know what I'm saying? He ain't like, Kobe them, they got that Mamba mentality and Jordan mentality where they don't care about nothing else but themselves. And they believe in their ability. They don't believe in nobody else's ability. You know what I'm saying? But LeBron didn't come in like that. He came in unselfish. He came in, as a facilitator. You know what I'm saying? And then also, he could dominate when he can. So I felt like the first year he played at the Heat, he was more of a facilitator and he was playing fun ball. You know what I'm saying? For him and Wade, they shooting threes all left and right and all this here. They was having fun out there. But I think after that series, he got a little more serious, and then it took Wade to step down, and then that's when the magic happened. But I'm going back to the LeBron and MJ story. MJ was the greatest of all time in my eyes. He was the GOAT until LeBron arrived. And now the body of work from LeBron, his size, speed, and agility, his duration, I'm talking about he's been in the league 22 years. It's no way I can put MJ in front of that. I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can go to the 6 rings, 6-0. Yeah, but he was 3-0. He took a break, and then he came back and went 3-0, you know, another 3-0. So, you know, it's not impressive if he went 6-0, straight up 6 titles, straight 6. So that break, and then even in the time when he took his break, some claim it was his dad passing that he took a break. Some claim that he didn't feel like the Chicago Bulls was putting a better team around him so he could beat some of like the Orlando Magics and the younger teams like Houston Rockets. Some believe that he quit on the team because they weren't giving him the pieces. Now, if you ask me, I believe he probably was grieving from his dad. But if he was grieving from his dad, what made him go into baseball? Because he should still be grieving. And so that would make me believe then he probably was didn't like, you know, Jerry Krause and what they was doing over there. So he just said, I'm going to step back. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know which one it was. But for a fan, I was a fan of Jordan. It kind of made me feel a certain type of way because I felt like he quit on the game because at that time when he stepped back, he was the best thing ever, you know, graced the court. So by him not playing, it kind of like that year felt like the league was down. Like, you know, nobody really, I didn't really want to watch basketball no more. You know what I'm saying? After Jordan retired that first year, I didn't want to watch it. It didn't seem exciting to me because Jordan wasn't there. And a lot of people got turned off. I got turned off by Jordan's attitude when he did that, when he quit on the game. I'm saying he quit on the game because I'm saying is, if you went to grieving for your daddy because he got killed, okay, cool, but how you get into baseball, you should still be grieving. You know what I'm saying? But I can't tell you how to grieve. But, okay, now if it was an organizational, you know, dispute and you just say, I'm going to step back and see, let y'all handle it. Now, if that's the case, that means you quit on the teammates because you wanted your way. And I always felt like, even during those times, Jordan was very selfish. He was a selfish guy and a selfish player. I think when you talk about the Chicago Bulls and Jordan mind frame, I believe he thought the team was Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen them was like the Pips, like Gladys Knight and the Pips. So he felt like without me, this engine don't run, which we seen when he quit. Scottie Pippen them still toted that thing and they went far as they can go. So like I say, Jordan is great, man. I'm not taking away from his greatness. I just feel like LeBron is better. I feel like LeBron is taller, he's stronger, he's faster. I just feel like he's an all-around player. He can guard from the 1 to the 5. I mean, when you go to the clutch gene, if you ask me who I would want to take the last shot, based on statistics, you would say LeBron, because statistically, LeBron is more clutch. But from the eye test, I'm going with Jordan on the last shot because I know I've seen Jordan with my own eyes in those moments, you know, do his thing. But I'm not basing the whole game around the last shot. You know what I'm saying? I'm basing the game overall game. You know what I'm saying? I want LeBron James on my team before any player I ever seen in the league. First, if I had the first pick of the draft and I could pick any player in their prime, I'm going with LeBron. Now, some of y'all may go with Jordan, and that's not a bad pick. But what I'm saying with Jordan is, what you're going to get with Jordan is, you're going to get a guy that wants the ball constantly. He don't want to pass it. Phil Jackson even said they had to make Jordan start passing the ball so he could understand the triangle offense, that if you pass the ball around, it's going to come back to you. You know what I'm saying? Jordan didn't understand that. Jordan just thought, listen, man, give me the ball. My talent's better than anybody on the team, and I can make the last shot or I can make the best play. Give me the ball. So it took Phil Jackson and Tex Winters and all of them to kind of let Jordan understand the game. Like the game, you're not gonna never win a championship thinking that way. You know what I'm saying? You got to get your team involved. See, LeBron already knew that. LeBron's problem was he didn't feel like he had the players, so when he do pass the ball, they were going to hit that shot. So that's why he teamed up with some more elite all-stars, so he can facilitate the ball around and play in the offense how the offense supposed to be ran. Jordan and Kobe, they never ran the offense like it should be ran. They always ISO ball, almost like a Carmelo. ISO ball, you know what I'm saying? Until Phil Jackson, and I give kudos, shouts out to Phil Jackson and Tex Winners, because that system alone that you brought into the NBA, the triangle offense, that system produced a lot of championships. Now, I ain't talking within Chicago. Yeah, Chicago, but it also went to the Lakers and produced championships and until the league caught up on it. You know what I'm saying? But that system alone produced championships. And you needed Jordan-like players to buy into that system for it to be effective. And I'm giving Jordan his credit. He got out of his mind and bought in. Kobe too. They got out of their mind and bought in. And that's why they were able to be successful. Because I'm saying here on the record right now, if Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan would have never embraced the triangle system, they would never have any championships, because they would be elite scorers. And when they run up on a good defense like Detroit, I'm talking about Isaiah, the bad boys Detroit, and I'm talking about even Ben Wallace, them Detroit. When you run up on a good defense and they start stagnating, you know, making you play ISO ball, you falling into the trap. And Jordan couldn't understand you was falling into the trap playing that ISO ball, trying to score 60-something points and make, you know, and while, you know, other dudes trying to run a system. So it took Jordan a while to understand that. It didn't take LeBron long, because LeBron knew it was all about it's all about making your teammates better. LeBron's problem was he didn't feel like his teammates were good enough. Because when he kicking that ball out and they missing that shot and they got an open shot, you know, what's going on? So he teamed up with some elite guys. And then once he got with Pat Riley, he understood. Pat Riley taught him the game and he understood the game. He took that game and started taking it on the road. And that's when he went back to Cleveland. And then he taking the same formula he learned from Miami Heat. And he taking it to LA. He took it to Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? And he learned how to be a champion. And I would give kudos to Pat Riley for really, because LeBron never really had nobody to sit him down. He just was off good talent, and he was already, you know, a mastermind in basketball, but he never really had nobody to sit him down and let him understand how the game really worked until he met up with Pat Riley, I believe, and Coach Spoelstra them. And they showed him how to be a champion. And once he learned that skill, he took that and he left the Heat and went to Cleveland, won a championship, then went to the Lakers and won a championship. So he knew the formula. But if you ask me, man, and I'm just being brutally honest, I come from both eras. I come from the Michael Jordan era. I watched Jordan when he got in 87, from 86, 87, all the way down. I watched Jordan play basketball, and he was the best player, the GOAT. He was the GOAT in my eyes. It wasn't nobody like him until I seen a player that was better. And I'm just going off a player. I'm not going off Clutch Gene. I'm not going off. I'm just going a complete player. LeBron James is a better player than Michael Jordan. Now, whoever can hit the last shot, I don't know, man. But I'm just saying, when you talking about a complete package, I'm going with LeBron James all the way around. All the way around. Because another thing I noticed about Jordan too, Jordan was a hell of a defensive player, but he couldn't stick nobody that was taller than him. That job was for Scottie Pippen. Jordan could never, and sometimes he couldn't even stick guys that were shorter than him. But a lot of times he definitely didn't want to guard the bigger guys. I'm talking about, you know, when you that was a mismatch to put Jordan on a power forward or especially you wouldn't even dare want to put him on the center. But to put him on a small, even on a small forward, it was kind of a mismatch because Jordan always had that thing of, well, if you bigger than me, I'm just going to switch off and go to the guy that I can stick. And that, you know, if you go back and look at some of the films, they never had Jordan on the bigger guys. LeBron has played smaller guys. He's played bigger guys. So if you ask me who the first person I pick, I'm picking LeBron because I can put him anywhere on the floor. And he's going to be the best player at that position. I'm limited with Jordan. I only could use him as a shooting guard and probably a point, but I only could use him at those two positions. If I put him at small forward, he's not that short, but he don't play big. He play like a guard. You know what I'm saying? So he going to be too short, or he's going to play too small for the position. I definitely can't put him on the power forward, and I definitely won't put him on the center. So I only could do two things with Jordan: put him at point guard or shooting guard. So that's why I say I pick LeBron, because I can use LeBron all over the floor. And as a coach, why wouldn't you want that? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't you want a guy you can use all over? Why would you want a guy that's limited? Jordan was limited. He didn't shoot threes. That's one limitation that he had. You know what I mean? So he had a lot of limitations. I'm not saying he wasn't a great player. He just was limited in certain areas. He couldn't shoot threes. He couldn't stick the bigger guys. You know what I'm saying? One-on-one. So it was almost a mismatch if I had a team that they had today. They got 7-footers bringing it up the floor. So I can't have Jordan sticking no 7-footer. Nah, I can't do that, man. You know, back in Jordan time, 7-footers was in the box. They was in the paint. You know what I'm saying? They get theirs off the glass, or they may get a dump down. And you know what I'm saying? They was in the paint. They wasn't bringing it out across that floor. And I don't think Jordan could handle that in today's game. The size in today's game will confuse Jordan. That's just my opinion, because he didn't play bigger guys. He was not a defensive guy on bigger guys. He was a prowess now. He was a hell of a defensive player, but a lot of his steals and stuff was off sneaking, you know, off helping. It wasn't just straight up one-on-one with a bigger guy. You know what I'm saying? With a guy that's 6'9" or a guy that's 7 foot. You can't have Jordan on that. And I believe in today's game, again, Jordan couldn't stick the bigger guys. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't be able to stick a Wemby. Even though Wemby is not a Jordan. Jordan is way better than Wemby. But he can't stick those kind of guys. He wouldn't be able to stick a Dirk Nowitzki. You get what I'm saying? I'm saying in his prime. I'm just saying these guys that elevated the game. Like a Lamar Odom. I'm saying, I'm not saying they better. I'm just saying, what I'm saying is these guys were innovative with their basketball skills. They were 6'11", 7 foot, bringing the ball up the court as a point guard. Anthony Davis. I would not put Jordan on an Anthony Davis if he bringing the ball up the court. I'm just naming some of the taller guys who can play point guard. I would not have Jordan on them. So that Jordan is limited when you're talking about in today's game, man. I'm not. It's nothing against his talent. Jordan is the greatest basketball player that blessed the court during his years. During his era, he was the best. But when you compare all the eras, LeBron got it so far. And then I'm hoping somebody come along and surpass LeBron. Because if I'm telling you like this, I'm not loyal to LeBron like that. I'm saying if somebody come in and show me they can do better than LeBron right now or in the future, I'm going to quick to say, hey, listen, that dude, they're better than LeBron. That's the type of guy I am, man. It's nobody, because I believe God bless all humans with talent. So I believe it's going to be somebody that come along. I don't know if I'm going to be living during those times, but it's going to be somebody that's coming along that's going to be better than LeBron. That's going to use LeBron 20 years of basketball and use that and build his game up to where he better than what he's seen. It always happened. LeBron mentor was Jordan. I mean, as far as looking at the game. He wanted, he wanted to play the game like Jordan. Everybody did, man. Jordan was the man. I'm not taking nothing from Jordan. Everybody wanted to be Jordan. But I believe that LeBron used Jordan talent, put it in his game, certain areas, and became more effective. He's a better all-around player than Jordan. He's the GOAT. At this point right now, LeBron James is the GOAT. And he's amassing much stats to prove. Because in 20 years right now, when both of them not playing, it's going to go to the stats. We're going to go to the stats, coach. Coach, they're going to say, coach, show me the stats. And when you look at the stats, LeBron going to dominate in every area. So at some point, some of these kids going to start saying, well, if Jordan was the best, why LeBron's numbers better? And why LeBron did all, what I'm saying? So it's going to be a big debate about that, you know what I'm saying? And when both of them stop playing, and then the only thing we got to rely on is numbers. So you better be, careful, because it's coming. Now, when it come down to his son, Bronny James, man, I know a lot of y'all, but y'all ain't letting up on LeBron. I'm talking about y'all. But y'all really serious. I'm talking about, like, y'all don't even want the man's son to get in the league. The man done played ball 22 years. He done gave the NBA all he got. I'm talking about all his adult life. He done gave the NBA, right? He done talked about as one of the greatest players ever to play the game. He's still playing basketball. Come on, guys. You don't think before he go out, he don't want to get his son in? Even if his son ain't worth nothing, he gonna still get him in? Come on, man. Y'all gotta respect the game, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Don't do it like that. You feel me? This man gonna get, you know what I'm saying? And then don't be surprised he stick around a little bit longer to get the younger boy in. His other son. So y'all got it, man. Y'all, that's how this going, man. This man is trying to build something. Y'all talking about GOAT, this here, he selfish and Michael Jordan and all that. He ain't studying that. He trying to get his kids the way they can get paid. And I respect that. Because one thing I respect about LeBron, y'all can say he'll cry baby and all this here. When he put, with the talent he amassed, he could have took that talent like Jordan did and just gained all of it for himself. He ain't need nobody. He ain't had to put Rich Paul on. Now Rich Paul, one of the biggest agents ever. He ain't had to put his son Bronny on what Bronny got. He ain't had to do none of that. Because Jordan ain't did none of that. He could have just took all that glory and took it to the grave. But he don't rock like that, though, man. That man ain't never rock like that, though, man. That man always put his peoples on. With all the good talent he had, he say, man, I'm going to bring people along with this talent. And I respect that, bro. If you don't respect that, bro, I'm like, come on, man. Like, this man took his God-given talent and spread it as wealth, man, and put people in position with that talent. You gotta respect that, man. And then a lot of y'all be saying, oh, but man, he ain't never, like I said earlier, he ain't never did nothing for the hood. And he'll never come back and show no love and all this here. But then when he take the hood with him and put his people in position, oh, he ain't supposed to did that. They ain't worth nothing. How the man ain't gonna put his son on, man? Come on, man. The man got power. Yeah, he running the Lakers. Yeah, we know that. Because he the best player. He done been the best player for 20-some years. He got that power. Now, if he was garbage, they ain't gonna give him no power. You know what I'm saying? But he was good. So now he taking that power that he got because he know he on the tail end. And he trying to install his young boys. He trying to get his son in. He trying to get the other son in, I believe. And that's only right. Like, who wouldn't do that? Based on the power. I know one person who wouldn't do it. Jordan. Because Jordan could have easily got his son a draft. Jordan was with Charlotte. Jordan was the owner of Charlotte. How come he couldn't get his son on? Come on, man. That was just straight, you know what I'm saying? And one of the sons was pretty good. I used to watch one of the songs. I don't know if it was Marcus or whatever. The one that played at Central Florida, he was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? He was decent. Jordan could at least got him in, you know what I'm saying? And see, can he, do his thing? Because Jordan was the owner. I just didn't, I don't get how his son playing college basketball and he just take the initiative to give his son an opportunity. I don't get it, what Jordan was thinking then. You know what I'm saying? I just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Because one of them was pretty decent and probably could have got in one of those camps. and made a little noise, you know what I'm saying? But we never know because Jordan never gave him the opportunity. And and to this day, I don't respect that, MJ. Straight up. Because you had the power. LeBron James is using his power to change the league. Jordan used his power to weaponize his peers. That's what he did. When Jordan was on top, Jordan had power. Jordan wasn't trying to put nobody on. He'll give you advice and tips and stuff. He wasn't trying to put nobody on. Jordan was trying to say, nigga, if you mess with me, I got so much power, I can get you erased or wiped out the league, or I can get you selling insurance. You know how like they used to say back in the day. Now, all my insurance agents, don't get on me. I'm just talking about back in the day, we used to say selling insurance. You know what I'm saying? But I know y'all making money now because insurance high. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't talking about y'all like that though, because I know y'all getting that bread. But I'm saying Jordan could have put his son on, man. Even if it was just a tryout, man. Master P got a tryout. Come on, man. You mean to tell me you... That's another story. I ain't even finna get into that, man. But anyway, LeBron power is so big, man. He was able to get his son on, and I respect that, man. And even if Bronny James don't turn out to be nothing, he can't never say his daddy ain't never put him on. He can never say that. And that's what these kids be looking at, man. These younger kids, they looking at today. They say, listen, man, my old boy ain't did nothing for me. He ain't did nothing. He ain't trying to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful, man, when y'all raising these young sons, especially sons. I got 2 boys. And trust me, I go through it. Listen, I go through it with both of them. And the youngest one give me the more problems. So I'm trying to tell you, I'm just talking to y'all, man. If you're in position to put your family on, man, forget cousins and all that. I'm talking about your immediate family. I'm talking about your son, your daughter. If you in position to put them on, you got to give them a shot. Even if they mess it up, you can say, you know what? I can go to the grave knowing that I gave my daughter an opportunity or I gave my son an opportunity. See, when Jordan go to the grave, he can never say he gave, well, you can say, well, yeah, he running the multi-million-dollar Jordan business. But when it come in turn to basketball, Jordan can never say he gave his son nothing in terms of basketball. And that's what I think how Jordan wanted it. I honestly, I think while his sons was playing, he wanted them to make their own name. Like, he didn't want them to use the Jordan name to get to where they at. And that's what I'm saying about the stubbornness in him. You know what I'm saying? I believe he probably told his son, hey, listen, man, y'all not going to use me. I'm not going to interfere. If you make it to the league on your own, you did that. But I'm not going to interfere in none of that, man. You just got to be good. If you ain't good, they ain't going to mess with you. And that's what I believe Jordan was telling his son. When you got LeBron probably telling something, man, hey, listen, man, we're going to get you ready. I don't know if you're ready or not. Do you probably say, hey, Bronny, do you want to play basketball? Do you want to play in the NBA? All right, if you want to, you got to show me, because I'm going to have you all around the trainers. I'm going to have you everywhere. I'm going to stick you down there to USC and see how you do there. But, you know, USC, that was, I don't know what, you know, like I say, Bronny need development. We understand that. Bronny ain't his daddy. Bronny ain't got the talent. I watched his daddy when he was Bronny age. Bronny ain't nowhere near his daddy. But I do see what LeBron see. He got flashes of being a great player if he can be able to, you know, because right now when I'm looking at the games, it seemed like he's kind of timid a little bit, or kind of scared to do a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't want to mess up. And I'm talking to you, Bronny. Like, Bronny, man, if you want to be a good player in the NBA, bro, you got to take yourself out of being LeBron James' son. You already done used that card to get in the league, or he done used that. And I know that's going to be a tag that's stuck on you, but you got to get out of that mind frame that you LeBron James' son and get into the mind frame of, I'm Bronny James that play for the Lakers. Because I still think that's in your mind, that you still think that the opportunity was given to you because you were LeBron James' son. Yeah, we know all that. And like we say, it's nothing wrong with that. Nepotism been, you know, everywhere. That's in every industry. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing wrong with that. But you can't let that hinder you from developing into to who you going to be, a good player. Because I honestly believe if you take the psychological part out of your mind of being LeBron James' son and just play basketball, because I do see flashes of talent. If you could just play basketball as being the best player Bronny James could be, and you'll never and understand you're never going to walk in the footsteps of your dad, I believe you could be a great player. You could be a good player. Not Hall of Fame. I'm not saying none of that. But you could at least work your way up to being a solid starter. You know what I'm saying? A solid starter if you take that, approach. That's just me giving you advice if you ever hear it or whatever. Because I think right now, LeBron gave you a shot, and then I heard you say, you've been going through all your life as LeBron James' son. I think that's playing a role of why you're not elevating in the G League. I think you need to just get that out your mind. You're never gonna be greater than your dad. And it's not gonna be there's a lot of basketball players not gonna be like your dad. It's only a few that's like your dad. You know what I'm saying? So you're never gonna be like your dad, but you can always be a Bronny James. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that can come in the league. Yeah, you got the invite from your dad or whatever. You can come in the league and just be a solid player. And that's all I'm expecting from you. I know a lot of the people out here on my timeline, hey, man, they wasted a draft pick and they did all this here on Bronny. Man, come on with all that there, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just talking, man. You know what I'm saying? They waste draft picks all the time. When they get them European players and then they draft them and they don't come to the league 3 years later down the line because they want to stay in their country and play for their country or whatever, they drafted. That's a lost draft pick that somebody else could have got. Come on with all that there, man. That's all boo game. Y'all trying to run game. But what I'm saying is, just as a student of the game of basketball, I believe Bronny got some upside that he could capitalize on if he get the mind frame of he's never going to be his dad. He's never going to be as great as his dad. You're never going to be that. But you can be a solid Bronny James. And if you trust that process, you should be good. I'm out.